living in a purposeful way is about releasing yourself from the societal pressure. A lot of the reasons why women come out of university and feel like they need to be married or engaged is more due to societal pressure rather than your own innate feeling. And I would say that when you're thinking about starting a purpose discovery journey, you have to literally drop, drop all of the societal pressure, because it's not going to help you. It's not going to get you to where you need to be, and it's actually going to hinder you and stifle you a lot more, because whilst you're wanting to move forward, you're also putting yourself under pressure that doesn't need to be there in the first place. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Temi and I share content along the lines of personal development and self-improvement content. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel again, and thank you to those new subscribers who have recently joined. I see you. On this channel, as you would know from my previous video, we have been doing a live series here on this channel talking about deep and pertinent topics. That live series has recently come to an end. I might bring it back on the channel, but it depends on how everything else kind of flows on from here. In this video, we are going to be starting a whole new series called the Purpose Discovery Series. We're going to be looking into what purpose actually is, why it's important to discover purpose, and how our lives can literally transform and improve itself by literally discovering our purpose, the reason why we're here on the earth, and what we were essentially born to do. As cliche as that sounds, if we aren't aware of our purpose and why we're actually here, we can actually be living a life that is not meant for us. So how do we discover our purpose? How can we live and walk in a way that's intentional and purpose-filled? That is what this series is going to be uncovering, and I'm so excited. So I will be answering, so I've had a few questions of people kind of, relaying their questions about life and about things to myself. There's one question in particular that I am going to answer towards the end of this video, so please stay tuned, because it's quite a lengthy question. So I will do my best, as best as I can, to answer it. Until then, please make sure that you are liking, subscribing and commenting to these videos, because essentially what that helps me to do is grow and basically give a thumbs up towards the algorithms, and it pushes my content and my videos out towards more people. And essentially what this channel is about is helping people to level up in their life, helping people to discover the next version of themselves, increase themselves from the inside out, and maximize their results here on earth. So it's so exciting to be starting a new series, and without further ado, let's get straight into the Purpose Discovery series. So the first place to start off with is uncovering what essentially purpose is. Living in a purposeful way basically means living in a way that resonates to who you are. The person inside of you, it resonates with who you are. Living in a purpose-filled way is important. There's a famous saying that, if the purpose of a person or a purpose of an instrument or whatever it is, if the purpose of something is unknown, abuse unfortunately is inevitable. And I think a lot of the times when we don't know who we are, we don't know what we carry, we don't understand our purpose, we can be putting ourselves in the wrong places, in the wrong opportunities, in the wrong spaces, and unfortunately abuse or being mishandled is it can stem from there. So how do we actually uncover our purpose? I personally have been on this quest for a few years, trying to uncover what purpose actually means, and how can I find my own purpose. And it's something that is it's such an abstract question. If I was to ask you what is 2 + 2, you would tell me 4. But when we think about purpose, it's not a straightforward answer, and I think that's why so many people have been on the quest to discovering purpose. There's even books written about purpose, from some of the most amazing speakers. The famous book is The Purpose-Driven Life. A lot of people are trying to find out what is their purpose, why are they here, and essentially what were they born to do? I think one of the main things about purpose is it's important to think about who you genuinely are. So a lot of the times we tend to live kind of like two lives per se. We live like the societal life, i.e. what we feel society expects from us. So a good job, a good career, money in the bank, a loving family, all the kind of, a healthy lifestyle. Those are the things that we kind of do because society, dictates that, basically. That's what society dictates as success. And I think a lot of the times when it comes to actually uncovering purpose, it can be so difficult because we are literally in the rat race of life. If you're paying bills, and a lot of us, we're all working, we're all paying bills, we're all doing everything that we need to do. And a lot of the times we get stuck in that cycle of life that we don't have the time sometimes to actually uncover another space, another arena of life. I think for me, purpose for me as a Christian is about finding my purpose in Christ, finding my purpose as a Christian, finding my purpose in God. And I think that in my personal journey in life, my journey to discovering purpose, I think it really started about 2017 when I was just on a quest. I was just on a quest to understand a lot of the questions, a lot of the mysteries in life, and literally wanted to understand what my purpose was. Because up until that point, I had been living in a very unintentional way, and I did do a video on living intentionally in my last series, on the live series, and I might link it up at the top if you're interested in finding out more about that. But from 2017 was when I really started my quest to understand what my purpose is. And it's not an easy thing. It does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of soul searching and humility as well to appreciate that actually I'm not too sure what I'm meant to be doing, and I want to be able to provide value. I think when you understand what your purpose is, you give out so much value. You give out so much more than if you're not understanding what your purpose is. You're not understanding why you're here on the earth and what you're meant to be doing. So if I think about my own journey, my journey stemmed from knowing Christ. My journey stems from developing a personal relationship with God, and my journey really stems from trying not to define success by the society's standards. Now that's really difficult because at the end of the day, we're living in a world. You kind of have to drop everything that you've kind of been told or taught, because discovering purpose is about going in deep. It's something that you're not aware of. It's something that other people aren't aware of. Sometimes your purpose is visible. So people might tell you, oh my gosh, you're so good at this, or you're so good at assisting or helping people, or you sing amazingly, or you do X, Y, and Z really, really well. Sometimes it's very obvious, and other times it's not always obvious. And I think when it's not always obvious, that's when you have to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting. That's essentially what I did. And I feel that when you're uncovering and you're going through learning more about what your purpose actually is, it might not always just come really, really quickly. It's a very slow process. It's kind of like seeing glimpses of what you're meant to be doing, seeing glimpses of what you're meant to be. And I think if you're consistent and you're really hungry enough to really want to find out what your purpose is, that's when I think that it will naturally begin to uncover itself. So we are going to be talking obviously about, a variety of different topics under the heading of purpose. Purpose is a big topic in and of itself, and I think that when we actually begin to understand what our purpose is, that is essentially when we begin to live our life in a completely different realm of possibilities. This was just meant to be an introductory kind of video into this topic, or into this new series called the Purpose Discovery series. But before we end the video, because again, I like to try and keep all of my videos to about the 10-minute mark, I want to share a question that one of my subscribers posted to me and see if I can answer it on this video as well. So the question goes, "Hey beautiful, I have a question. What do you do while single in your 20s and 30s? Surely there's more to life than, you just graduate and you get married. It seems like Christians get married around my age, which is 21 to 25 years. What can one do in the waiting period? I hate even calling it that, but it's because it feels like your life hangs in the balance until the ring. That's not true, is it? Any advice would be so perfect. Anything you wish you had done. So that is a heavy topic. It's a heavy question, and it's a question that I really, really wanted to, I suppose, tie into the Purpose Discovery series, because as Christians, as young people who are, as young women who are, and I think I do have a lot of female subscribers on my channel so far, as young women, as Black women, as women who are potentially Christians as well, waiting, having your life on hold until you get married is quite common. It's quite a common thing. I think in relation to this question, what did I do? I just didn't put my life on hold. I'm engaged now, but I think when I was single, I was very, very happy. You have to be happy and content in the stage that you're in. Get busy, get involved with businesses, get involved in, personal development, get involved in being entrepreneurial, get outside and get involved in, community projects or opportunities in different countries. Utilize this time because you're never going to get it back. Your vital years, I always say that from the period of being 20 to up until 29, those are your building block years. Those are the years that you build your career, you build your experiences, you build yourself internally as well as externally. You build your business, you build a lot of network and connections. Your 20s are for building. And I think that if you're in a mindset of having to wait around for a man, having to wait around to be validated, by a ring or by a man, you're wasting your building block years. You're never going to be 21, 23, 25. You're not going to be in your 20s forever. And the things that you can do in the years of your 20s, I don't want to say you can't do it, but there are, like the Bible always says, there is a time and a place for everything. Ecclesiastes, right? So I feel like when you understand what each season of your life, or what each period, or what each age of your life represents, you will use that period in a purposeful way. So, for example, I know that your 20s is meant for building. It's meant for building yourself up, setting the foundation of your life, of your career, of your finances, of your network, your friends, opportunities, your businesses. It's literally for building. And I think that if you're not using that period for building, you will obviously be neglecting that and actually you might actually feel the repercussions of that later on in life. I would say don't feel pressured. A lot of people are getting into relationships and getting into marriages that, some people are happy, some people aren't happy. I would say don't feel under pressure to have a ring or to be married. Like, I was happily single. When I say happily single, I was free. I was dodging the mandem, I was literally dodging men because I was happy. I was content in actually just being free and living my life the way, I wanted to live it. But obviously there's a time that happens. I personally met my fiance at age 29. And then I got engaged and soon will be married. So I think everyone's story is very different. But whether you're engaged at 25 or you're engaged in your 20s, whether you're single in your 20s and then you're engaged in your 30s, however life looks like for you, please don't just wait idly for that period of your life, because every period of your life requires you to be building, requires you to be investing, requires you to be doing something, so that when that period of time does come, when you do get the ring and you do get engaged, you're a lot more valuable. You haven't just been waiting around, and you're able to contribute a lot more to a relationship and to a marriage. Always remember that when you go into marriage, or when you get engaged, or when you find the person that you want to settle down with, it's not just about having somebody there, but it's also about being able to provide value. All the years of your 20s if you've been building and been cultivating so much value within yourself, that is also the value that you're bringing into a relationship. It's the same value that you're bringing into a marriage. So honestly, I would say you have to use your single time really wisely. And I haven't said anything new here. I think this is something that a lot of people, I've heard people say, I've heard people advise this as well. When you graduate, so obviously you've just recently graduated based on your question, and now you're feeling like you need to be married, or that's the next step. And I think again, you have to just think about what I was saying about living in a purposeful way. Is about releasing yourself from the societal pressure. A lot of the reasons why women come out of university and feel like they need to be married or engaged is more due to societal pressure rather than your own innate feeling. And I would say that when you're thinking about starting a purpose discovery journey, you have to literally drop all of the societal pressure, because it's not going to help you. It's not going to get you to where you need to be, and it's actually going to hinder you and stifle you a lot more, because whilst you're wanting to move forward, you're also putting yourself under pressure that doesn't need to be there in the first place. So I really hope I've answered your question. I've made the video a little bit longer just to include your question. Thank you so much. For anyone else who has questions or dilemmas, please do send me in, and please do send them in to myself. Send them via email, and I'll put my email down below, or you can message me on Instagram or on YouTube, or just drop it down below in the comments section. Like I said before, guys, I'm really excited for the second series on this channel, the Purpose Discovery series. It will still be about 10 minutes in terms of the video length. I will still try and keep it short and sweet. This is just kind of like an introduction into the series, and make sure that you share this video, you share the series, even share the live series with people that you know you want to level up with, or people that you feel should be leveling up with you. Please do send it, please do share it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel. I think this is the end of the video, but it's not the end of the series. I will see you again on my next video right here on this channel on the Purpose Discovery series. Bye.